Hello YouTube, welcome back again to another episode of Keyforge with KevBot. Again, we're back here at the Crucible Online, this online Keyforge simulator, totally free for you guys. You guys should definitely check it out if you haven't yet. But today we've got another new deck. We've got Thompson of Trintop. Played a couple games with this already. Seems okay. A lot of creatures, which I think is pretty good. But we'll get right into the deck analysis here. So starting off with Brobnar, obviously having two Angers, pretty good. I think this is one of the better common cards for Brobnar. You want to be fighting with those creatures, and it also gives you an Amber, so not too bad. This is an interesting new one I don't think we've seen yet, Blood Money. So it's an action, you play it, and you get to place 2 Amber from the common supply on an enemy creature. So to be totally honest with you guys, I'm not exactly sure what the common supply is, but from just playing with this card, it seems like you just place 2 Amber. It's not like taking it away from anybody or taking it away from any creatures who have captured Amber. You just put 2 of it used on your opponent's creature, then you kill your opponent's creature and you get those 2 Amber eventually. So that's how it works to my understanding. And then also Gauntlet of Command, the artifact here. Action, just ready and fight with a friendly creature. Simple, obviously really good for Brobnar. Let's move on to Logos. This is a new one. I think I've played against this, but I don't think we've actually played with this one yet. Bouncing Deathwork. It's an action play. Destroy an enemy creature and a friendly creature. You may repeat this effect as many times as you like, as long as it is possible to repeat the effect. So basically, if you're just trading creatures with your opponent, but you're getting to choose those trades. I found it to be pretty good. You can get rid of some of your lower powered creatures for their higher powered ones. And then obviously we just have a copy of Mother and a bunch of other creatures here. Nothing too exciting. And then moving on to Mars. Mothership support, some good removal here. It's an action play for each friendly ready Mars creature. Deal 2 to a creature, and of course you may choose different targets for each 2 damage. Seems good. We've got 8 Mars creatures here, so we should have plenty of support for that card. Phosphorus Stars, of course, stun each non-Mars creature, gain 2 chains. It's an action. Obviously, I think stunning's really good. Then what else do we have? Sample Collection. Not sure if I played with this one yet for you guys either. So it's an action. Put an enemy creature into your archives for each key your opponent has forged. If any of these creatures leaves your archives, you put it back into their hand instead. So it's a way to deal with their creatures in the later game once they have 1 or 2 keys. Personally, I found this to be a little bit underwhelming, but still seems like a fun card to use. So I'll meet you guys when we get into game. Alright guys, made it into game. Of course, again, we always have this, well, not always, but we have the decision. First or second, I'm always going to choose first until I can prove that it's better to go second. Let's check this hand out. Lots of Brobnar, which I like. Lots of good creatures are here early on. Action, what is this? String, if you do, you're like... Okay, this could be good. I'm probably just going to play this and then play a bunch of Brobnar creatures. So we'll keep this, so I do not want to mulligan. So if we played this, we would just get it killed by Heavy Huge when we play it. So we're going to hold that and just get this creature out. So this turn I had the option of playing my 4-power creature that's not doing anything, or Spangler Box. This card seems good, but I can still only use it whenever it's a Logos turn, and it seems better later in the game once they have some more powerful threats that I really need to deal with. And whenever I use it, it allows them to get rid of one of my creatures, but then they have to choose Logos as their house. So we'll see. What is this? A friendly creature captions. Okay, that's fine. Elusive, reap, use an opponent's artifact if it were yours. So that's sort of good that we didn't play this then. Okay. So I'm just going to go Brobnar here though. Yep. and just play a bunch of big creatures. So I played this one first, so all these other creatures wouldn't get damaged, and the order doesn't really matter. So this has been a good first two hands. This is sort of what I look for when you're on the play. Basically, you want to have a pretty stacked hand in one house, and then a couple cards from a couple different houses. So I only had one Logos card, so I obviously just want to get that out the first turn since we can only play one card anyway. And then by dumping my Bromnar hand, allows us to dig really quickly through our deck, and it's looking like we're going to have a good Logos hand coming up next turn as well with 5 possible plays. Although I'm considering just discarding this Bangler box for now because he has this Nexus and I don't want him to be able to get rid of any of my creatures for free. And this is a reap ability, so it's pretty free. So I'm considering just discarding this. I don't really need it. And I mean, he's playing Mars, which can have some problematic creatures, but currently I'm so far ahead on board that I'll be able to deal with whatever creatures he's able to bring to play probably. So this is interesting here. So I could go Bromnar here and just kill a bunch of his stuff. But if I just go Twin Bolt Emission with Logos, I can still kill 2 of his creatures and then play a lot of other stuff as well. So I'm going to do that. So going Logos here, because I have a really good Twin Bolt Emission, and it gets rid of this threat that he has on my artifacts, 2 of my Logos artifacts, it makes it a lot better for me to play them now, because he can't utilize them in any way. Then let's think, what do we want to give Rocket Boots to? If I put it on my Logos creature here, I can reap twice. I'm sort of down for that actually, and it forces him to get rid of it. Like obviously this upgrade's better on like one of my bigger creatures, but I'm down to just turn the card into 2 amber, right? Seems fine. And I'm actually going to put this on the left, because there are cards in Shadows that like deal damage to like flank creatures. So try and protect it a little bit maybe. Okay, so he got me with a Nerve Blast. Little unfortunate, but we're still looking okay here. So we have Gauntlet and Anger in hand. Okay, so if this is all he's doing, one thing I am concerned about is bait and switch. But, I mean, I can just go Bromnar here and get a lot of amber from my onboard creatures, and it gets me ahead on board more. So I'm going to do that, although technically the better late game play is to go Mars here. I still don't have a whole lot of Mars creatures and synergies. So I'm going to go Bromnar. I only need to fight with one thing, so I'm just going... Actually, no, I don't care about this getting damaged, so I'm just going to reap with everything, then use Anger to fight there. Reap. 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 And this should get me up to 6, right? Because I'll use Anger to make this fight this, and then it'll get me 1 for anger, 1 amber for anger, and 1 amber for getting my captured card back. Then we'll play the artifact and see what he's got. So he's not going shadows, which is pretty good news for me. Means he's not bait and switching me this turn. What did he bounce? Heavy huge? I mean, sure. I mean, I'm not... this is a common card for Dis. I'm not a huge fan of it. It can be good, but... I mean, obviously I'm just going to get to play my cards again next turn. Okay, I didn't even really want to play Heavy Huge anyway, right? Because it's going to damage all my creatures. Okay. And then I think we just go Bromnar again, kill his 1 thing, and then reap twice, and then Gauntlet to kill it. I guess we'll use Troll to fight because it's the biggest thing. So yeah, just going to go Bromnar here. So let's make him lose 1. Play another Troll. Play Valdir. Reap with these 2 guys. And we'll use my Gauntlet to ready and fight with the creature. We're going to use the bigger Troll to kill this. So yeah, looking very strong here. So when you can control the board like this with Brobnar, Brobnar becomes much, much better. Because, I mean, obviously this is the strength, right? We've got cards that help us fight other cards. I mean, at this point, until he deals with my board somehow, I'm not even worried about playing more cards. I'm just going to reap every turn. Okay. That's pretty good for him. So I still can't deal with this. I mean, all he did that turn was play... He didn't even get any amber, right? He just played stun everything and played 1 card. So I think I'm just going to reap with everything and then Gauntlet to kill it. I mean, we're at the same board state. I mean, I could deploy a lot of threats. I'm just going to go Bromnar. So yeah, I'm just removing all my stuns here. Just basically undoing what he did. And then I'm going to fight again. Using my Gauntlet of Command to ready and fight. And then I think I'm just going to use Troll again. Because I can, whenever I reap with it, I can get the damage back. So this is why that was not a bad play. So for basically, he used his entire turn to just gain 2 chains there. So that's the reason why that was not really a great play. Because I just undid. I mean, if he had just looked at the board state and realized that himself, maybe. I mean, obviously he's getting to cycle through his deck for his troubles there, but. Wow, I mean, if this is his only play, he's probably looking to bait and switch me after he forges a key. But, I mean, it forces him to go shadows again, like, I don't really care. So I'm just going to go Bromnar here, like I said. I can reap with everything and then just fight once, or I can actually kill this thing. And that's what I think I'm going to do. Because I'm just trying to maximize my amber generation here. And we'll just fight. Deal 8 there. And then my turn. So like I said, if I'm generating 5 amber every single turn, that's better than anything I can do playing cards from my hand. Like I'm generating 5 plus dealing a good bit of damage every turn, so until he shows me he's got a way to deal with this, then there's no reason for me to do anything else. Mars, it's really good. What's he doing? Orbital Bombardment, sure. Gonna deal some damage to me. Doesn't even kill my creature, because he only had 2 Mars cards. And then he readied it using soft landing, so he's gonna make me capture something, sure. Whatever. Okay, that was, even sort of bad for him. Not really, I guess he gets rid of my creature. Yeah, I think I'm still just happy going Bromnar. It's not as good, right, because I'm only getting 4. But that means even if he lashes next turn, I still have enough. So I'm going to go Bromnar again. So if I fight with one of my creatures and then use this, it still allows me to go up to 8. But I really want to be at 9. So I'm going to... Because... Basically, my reasoning for... yeah, so 9. Okay, and then, we could use it, but it's just got at least elusive anyway, so... The reason going up to 9 is so important is because, A, he's probably looking to be disc since he just did a decent Mars turn last turn. So he wants to just use this to prevent me from forging my key. But he also has to steal 1 now, which is unlikely to do in disc. And if he just went Mars, he could choose to have me capture 1 from my own side, but then, again, because he just played Mars, he's very likely to have a very weak Mars turn if he's doing that. So I'm forcing his hand by going all the way up to 9, right? If I had just attacked once and then rigged with 3 and then used Gauntlet to attack again, yes, I would have killed it, but I'd only be at 8, and if he has the same turn going dis, he would put me back a turn on my key generation. Okay, choose a house. Your opponent cannot play that house as their active house until this leaves play. Sure. Sorry about that, guys. Looks like we DC'd, but we're back. So what we missed, he played Poltergeist, using an artifact controlled by your opponent. So what did he use? So he used Gauntlet to ready and fight with Dust him so he can get his 2 Amber. Sure. Okay, yeah, sorry. DC'd a little bit, but he played the Terror again. So it's just a 5 power creature on this board. Alright, so he made it so we can't choose Bromnar this turn. So obviously, could consider going Logos actually. Actually, going Logos and then purging the Restrain just seems pretty cool. Then we get to play Mother and Doc. Yeah, I'll do that. And we get to use this artifact as well. Perfect. Another Logos card. Okay, so this lined up really well. So let's go ahead and use this. Get rid of his Restringus. And then we could play Mother, Doc, and Brain Eater, and get rid of this stun. That's the turn. Alright, looking good. So, he has access to the Spangler box now, so he can use it himself to purge one of my creatures. But I don't really care about that, and he has to choose Logos in order to do that. I don't even know if you're allowed to do that if it's not one of your active houses. I'd have to look up the rules on that. Again, the way you win this game is by generating Amber, and that's what I've been doing. So this has sort of been an interesting game, right? Normally I sort of preach cycle through your hands, get through your deck as fast as possible so you can play more of your cards. But the way this draw and this deck is lined up is that I sort of just controlled the board early with a really heavy Brobnar early hand and sort of just use that to generate advantage over this game. So it's, again, there's different ways to play this correctly. Would he get rid of John Smith? Sure, I don't care. He's reaping. Okay. Or is he attacking? He might be attacking Mother here. So War Drummer is actually sort of good here. It's going to do 2 damage to everything. Terror fight Mother. Yep, to be expected. But I can get rid of his thing. We'll see what else he's got. Right, so this allows me to bounce all of my Brobnar creatures. And then obviously I'll play with him so I can deal 2 to... Oh no, I don't have that. So this is just pure value. So it's going to make him lose 2. And I get to heal this guy. So Brobnar looking pretty sweet here. I got rid of the Restringus so I can choose it again. Yeah. So this is why I said War Drummer is a pretty good card in one of my older videos. We're going to go ahead and go for the combo here. So no need. Do we want to fight this? Yeah, not really. I'm gonna play it safe, I think, since I'm so far ahead. Normally I would say this is a really bad move because you just want to be pressing your advantage. But I am so far ahead of here. I'm just gonna want to make sure that he can't do anything silly. And then I'm making him lose 2 this turn anyway. Because I'm playing 2 of these bumpsies, right? That I bounce back to my hand. So it's still a 4 Amber swing this turn. And this just takes away more of his options. Okay. So this is like a... I'm sure you guys have all been playing card games before, but this is like a scenario where you're so far ahead you just don't want to take any lines where they somehow win the game because you like took a play where they have 1% chance to win instead of 0%. So that's just what I'm doing here. And it may still not even be correct because in this game it's better to just close out your opponent because it's much easier to, like, they could go off like 3 turns in a row and be back in the game, you know? But we're looking really good still. I mean, we're gonna reap up here, go up to 7 Amber next turn. Okay, he can't even use Mass Abduction on me. Good thing I bounced all my cards to heal him. That was nice. Psychic Network. Steal 1 for each friendly ready Mars creature. Again, see, this is why on my rankings video I just put out a couple days ago, I put Mars sort of low because this card does, the last 3 cards he's played have done nothing. I mean, one of them gave him 1 Amber, but he just didn't have the setup. Even this is not doing anything, right? That's why Mars can sometimes be bad. Yeah, we're just going Brobnar here and Ambering him up. So, Reap, 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 and Reap. In turn. So even if he has bait and switch here, it's like, whatever. If he goes up to 5, 6, he'll go up to 6 and I'll be below again, but something to consider as well is he's almost through his deck, and if you're playing like at your local game store and it's like an actual competitive tournament or something, you probably want to be assuming your opponents, yes, have bait and switch because it's common. I don't think there's any reason you'd play a Shadow Spool that doesn't include this card, so yeah. So this is pretty good for me here. The only bad thing that could occur is if he has a second bait and switch, since he is how do I say this? He's going to go to 0 after he forges a key next turn. Then he could bait and switch me again, put me back really far behind. But the way I just play around that is just by generating a lot of amber. So if I go up to 10 here, he could bait and switch me down to 5 again, but I'll still be one turn ahead. Is there a better play than that? No. So yeah, just Brobnar, reap. So yeah, I mean, there is a line in which he does win this game, right? If he has another bait and switch into some sort of like key generation disruption, he could definitely win. So this is why it might have been wrong for me to kill that creature a couple turns ago, because I'd have too much amber. Yeah, see? Yeah. You could definitely be back in the game here if he has some way to steal. Okay, that's not going to do it. Oh no, he's got me. Are you serious? Yeah. So he's been waiting on this all game, I guess. Yeah. I mean, he couldn't get me down to 6, but he had the miasma. So I think he's got me here. I don't even think there's anything in my deck that I can do to prevent key generation. GG's. He got me. So a different line I could have taken, instead of going just Brobnar straight all the way, I could have gotten Titan Mechanic and reaped with my Logos creatures. I didn't think about that. That might have gotten me there one turn earlier, since keys would be one less. Interesting. Yeah, he got me there, but this is why, again, Brobnar can be sort of underwhelming. Because one of the parts of the game is dealing with disrupting your opponent's keys and stealing with shadows, and Brobnar just has no way to interact with that. So there you go. Take it back to the overview. So yeah, how did this game go? I didn't get to use Blood Money, but not an extremely strong card. Got good use out of War Drummer. Didn't get to see Bouncing Deathport, but we were ahead that game anyway. Yeah, I mean, didn't get to do a whole lot of fun, crazy stuff, but we just got ahead with Brobnar early, and unfortunately we could not close it out before he drew through his deck and drew his Shadows and Miasma combo. So, great game to the opponent. All credit to him. But again, guys, if you are still watching the video now, I do appreciate your support. Please like and comment on the video. It really does help me out a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Check out my other videos. I'm going to be posting. I've been posting just about every other day, and that is pretty much going to be my schedule moving forward, as long as I can hold that up. So I appreciate everyone's support again. Hope you guys all have a great week, have a great month, have a great year, and good luck out there battling on the Crucible.